Hello, everybody. Today's April 9th. We're doing Links with Friends today, and I immediately forgot the categories because a car honked.
That's a fragile thought process.
You know, we're all running on like 2 hours of sleep because there's been tornado warnings every night.
Oh, really? Because I slept so good last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
I woke up because my puppy was scared.
I was exhausted, but last night's storms were like gentle rolling thunder. That's the best. Anyway,
not when your dog wakes you up and is like,
You know, my cats freaked out. Was it Wednesday night?
The one night we had the big storms. Yeah, Cricket was a little, like when I got up in the morning, usually Cricket's kind of like, don't touch me in the morning. But he was like, hi, please hold me, be affectionate.
They were screaming so much, I went in to spray them with a bottle, and they both escaped. They like ran past me and went under the couch.
Aww.
That's got nothing to do with this.
No.
Well, that's a pet update. And there has been an update at Intel. They got new leadership and a new path forward, it seems, and that comes with a new slogan.
Tom's Hardware's headline is Intel has refreshed its iconic brand with "That's the Power of Intel Inside" campaign. They also have a new CEO who has broke cover and said, hey, we're going to listen to customers and do all sorts of fun things. Lip Bhutan. And so a lot of changes at Intel.
I kind of wonder if this has to have been in the making for a few months. Like,
yeah.
This is old CEO.
But this is, hey guys, remember when we were successful? Let's take that slogan and add 4 unnecessary words to it.
Yeah.
They paid somebody for this.
But it probably took months of research to do it, and then you have to produce all the marketing materials. That's why I don't think the new CEO is probably responsible for it.
Well, he is making some big decisions.
Intel CEO Lip Bhutan says the company will spin off its non-core units. They've been doing that a lot, but I mean, they really, like, what are the non-core units? They didn't clarify yet.
This picture, I don't think it is, but it looks like dandelions, like implying that there are weeds growing up around Intel.
I think maybe sunflowers.
No, they're not. They might be a tick seed, maybe.
He also he was kind of throwing shade at the previous administration because he kept saying, in the past, we have not worked with our customers. We've insisted on us designing the chips. That's not going to be the thing anymore. Just bring us, we will work with you. Please. Please, we will work with you.
I think the most amazing callback for that is with Apple, because Apple's just like, wow, Intel wants to be a foundry, but they don't know how to be a foundry. This is so bizarre. Or I guess that's secondhand from one of the TSMC people with comments from, Apple with regard to Apple looking to get their stuff manufactured there.
But we've heard that from other companies where they would go there and be like, here, we've designed this chip and we want to do this. And then they'd be like, no, we're the chip designers. Just let us do it. And yes, we have TSMC is maybe feeling the tariff pressure and being pushed toward onshoring something here in the U.S., and that might be good news for the blue company.
The Reuters headline is that Intel and TSMC tentatively agreed to form a chip-making joint venture, the information reports. But I haven't seen enough details on this. Like, what's going on with this? Is this a thing? Like, wow, okay.
I think they've pledged. It's going to be a new thing, and both of them are going to commit something to it. But yeah, I don't think there's a lot of info on exactly what they're going to do. It does seem like they have conflicting business models, but maybe not anymore. Maybe Intel's learned their lesson. And here's the theme that we've been seeing, and that has to do with, do we really need all the data centers? Everybody was just gobbling them up when the AI race was hit, and then DeepSeek came along and spoiled. That was just like peeing in the punch bowl.
We reported on this last week, but there's some more info in this article. Microsoft pulls back on data centers from Chicago to Jakarta. And so this was Bloomberg, but Bloomberg had some more information about, okay, Microsoft, why are you doing this? And they were able to get a little bit more information. It's like, oh, well, we think we can do with what we've got.
Yeah, they've corporate speaked it.
But it's DeepSeek scared us.
I was like, oh, we have all we need right now, and we often rebalance and blah, blah, blah. And what they're actually saying is, yeah, we got too much, and now we figured out that that's not going to be as advantageous as we'd hoped.
I thought it was interesting, though, that they carefully avoided saying that it was due to weak demand, because it for sure is not weak demand. Good Lord.
And, the Chinese trade war is about to really catch on fire because I didn't add a story. It happened. I was scrambling this morning. But they have decided to go reciprocal to the reciprocal.
Yeah.
And that means that it's just going to keep escalating. And that means that American companies are now terrified.
Microsoft shutters its AI lab in Shanghai, signaling a broader pullback from China. They get an amazing picture of a sign that used to have Microsoft on it.
Ghosts of the past.
They pointed out all the stuff that this little lab had accomplished, and it seemed like it was doing some pretty good work. But yeah, I think there's just too much geopolitical tension at this point. And for a while there, we had learned that certain memory prices had plummeted, and it was a great time. And if you did not take advantage, you probably should right now. You should probably pause the video. Now come back later for sure. But pause the video and go get some because these prices are only going up.
They're going to throw off our analytics.
Micron confirms memory price hikes as AI and data center demand surges. Yeah, everybody wants 128 gig DIMMs. Good Lord.
And right now, I guess the chip exception will save you from tariffs for that, but who knows?
Not for very much
yeah,
longer.
not long. If their press release is to be believed.
That might be part of Microsoft's strategy, too, is they figure that they'll be able to just, once the economic demand collapses, they'll be able to buy more server, and it doesn't have to come to the U.S. It can just go straight to the data center it's going to be installed in.
And Nintendo fans are famous for opening their mouths and allowing that company to piss directly into them and do whatever they want, charge whatever they want, make you buy it over and over and over. But based on the public sentiment, they may have gone too far this time.
Nintendo Switch 2 arrives on June 5th at $450. That was the pre-tariff price. Who knows what it's going to be now?
I saw some people speculating it might be closer to $600.
Everybody was also freaking out because physical copies of games now apparently cost $90 instead of...
I think it's minimum 70.
Yeah, that's...
And max out at 90, yeah.
And if you have a Switch game and you'd like to play it on your Switch 2, they sort of imply that that's going to cost $20 per game.
More importantly, there's all kinds of subscription locks here. Like they've got this new share thing. I don't know the total details of it, but there's a frame rate discrepancy between the I'm on the subscription and I'm not on the subscription. I think the I'm not on the subscription is 15 frames per second.
Remember when gaming was like a cheap hobby?
It still can be.
I mean, it can be, yeah.
Indie games and Steam, Epic Game Store, they give you one a week. I mean, I'm not supporting Epic, but I do take their free games most weeks. We learned last week that the Bosch, actually it was this week, the Bosch dishwasher will not run a rinse cycle or do some other things until you put it on the Wi-Fi and let it talk and register with an app. And these, I don't know if these specifically do that. I imagine they probably do, but they also do a bunch of other stuff that has nothing to do with keeping food cold or washing dishes or anything like that.
Samsung's 2025 Bespoke appliances are going all in on AI.
Who asked for this?
No one. Literally no one.
I guess the stockholders.
No. Look at the size of the screen on this refrigerator.
That's just something that's going to go bad.
Yeah.
Who wants to stand and watch TikTok videos?
Also, like, inevitably, you spill stuff and, like, kitchens are messy. Like, that's not ideal. What the hell?
Now, of course, you're going to want these AI stuff because, like, in the refrigerator, for example, it has been trained to recognize almost every processed food in the supermarket and even some raw foods. So,
even some raw foods, but those are less likely to be in your fridge.
Well, who's going to eat that? Right?
Yeah.
We're Americans. We eat processed garbage. And so it'll let you know what's in your refrigerator at any given time. You know who else it'll let know? Samsung and everybody you buy groceries from because they're going to buy that data.
Vertical integration.
And your TV, we've been talking about this for a long time. Not only is it, reporting back your stuff, but now we have this image recognition that's going on. It's actually capturing every fifth or sixth frame and sending it home. And they are making so much money that they can do this.
TV manufacturers selling sets at a loss for advertising rewards.
Vizio and Roku, I think, are the two big ones.
Your TV is literally an enemy agent. What kind of future is this?
And so they describe how the business model, these companies that are doing this business model are in a price race to the bottom because they just want to get that in your house. Literally an enemy agent. We will pay you. They're losing, I think one was like 7% margin on every TV set they're losing just to get it into your home. Just to Trojan TV you. Get yourself a monitor, folks. They still make them, even nice ones, big nice ones. And Elon Musk, he may get a little shot in the arm from this whole tariff thing, being immune to it, but the tide has turned.
What is it? What publication is this? The Champion?
The Olympian.
The Olympian. I don't know. 2/3 of Americans now say they wouldn't drive a Tesla, according to this Olympian article.
I imagine this is Olympia, Washington, right?
Probably, yeah.
See if we can get some clues on that.
Farmer's market.
Yeah, that's for sure. Olympia, Washington, right?
Anyway.
Yeah. People don't like it, and that's not just America.
Tesla's March sales dive in Germany, edge down in the UK. So it's like down 30%, wasn't it?
Well, 0.8% in the UK. I don't know why they chose to stuff that into the headline, but 40-something in Germany. The Germans have really turned.
Wow.
42.6.
42. Wow. The last time I looked at it, it was like 37. Good Lord.
Yeah, they're not having it. Do they have BYD in Germany? Engagement challenge if you live in Germany. And this is, like these stories are sort of uplifting in some ways because hey, if you get screwed up really bad, you can still function in the world. But also, this is mind reading.
Brain to voice neuroprosthesis restores neuralistic speech. So,
Naturalistic.
Or naturalistic speak. Oh, right, yeah. This is awesome because this is actually a follow-up on something we reported earlier. Remember, it used to have like an 8 or 10 second delay. Now there's almost no delay. They've perfected the technology. So
and
now they just need to mass produce it.
And that's the AI. They fixed the AI, and it's sort of agnostic to how they read your mind. There's a bunch of different ways. I think this one in the picture here is invasive.
Didn't they say too you had to kind of like mouth the words?
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? Like, I guess even if you can't speak, you have to try to speak.
Yeah.
To get this.
They said they made sure it didn't hear anything like when they were training it, so it's not sound at all. It's just like if I guess like you're trying to speak, like whatever part of your brain lights up when you're using your mouth that way.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I guess you could still have an inner monologue and not get caught up in this. But how far are we from that?
Not far.
You can never mouth what you're thinking.
And they do have one version that's just I think, again, this was an invasive one. But I think there's one that's just magnets. Maybe they put something under the skin on your head, but they don't have to get inside your skull. It's going to get better, and it's just going to be the little anti-theft things at the grocery store. When you walk through them, they're going to go through your head. It's like, are you a satisfied customer?
They're just going to advertise to you constantly. That's what it's going to be.
Your personal brain AI talks to the anti-theft AI. And it's like, is this guy sus? Nah, it's fine.
No, but he didn't flush.
He has severe anxiety that he thinks that you're going to stop him.
He did eat 2 grapes while he was looking at the produce. And Amazon is way behind the ball, but they're still trying.
Amazon and ULA get set to launch batches of satellites for Project Kuiper Network. 27 satellites going up in the most densely configured Saturn V configuration ever.
Ultralight Adventures?
At least this rocket is a little less, genitalia.
I mean...
It doesn't have the flared head anymore.
Yeah.
It's weird they're not using Musk's super cheap launch vehicles.
And yes, power. That's going to be the thing, right? I mean, if they're scaling back the data centers, then maybe it won't be that big a deal. But it does seem like that there's going to be a time when, in some countries, they have scheduled days off. It's like, hey, everybody, get ready for Wednesday. We're going to turn the power off because we can't generate enough. Are we heading into that world? Quite possibly. And here's a way that you can save yourself some money.
Open source tool designed to throttle PC and server performance based on electricity pricing, lightweight CLI, will automatically limit clock speeds during peak hours. What a dark future we live in. Electricity, a commodity, a thing that underpins modern society, and we have to ration electricity. This is not the future I signed up for.
So this guy
You're
was
never going
running.
to get that Star Trek future.
I think this guy was running like a Epic server with 4 GPUs in his house. And he recognized that this is going to cost me a little bit of money. So he built this tool, and he's got one of those smart plugs that it actually interfaces with. And you have to provide your own timing rate information here. Like, it doesn't go out and find out what the current rates are. But you can save a lot of money if you're doing this in a data center. Do your AI training at night. And TikTok, the deadline for TikTok is coming up. It got the 90-day reprieve. That's almost over. And so there's a question of what's going to happen. Although, spoiler alert, Trump has already said, I'll just extend it.
Amazon said that it was going to make a bid to buy TikTok in the U.S., as did a number of other companies, including, I think, the OnlyFans guy.
Interestingly, they sent a letter to J.D. Vance to ask for this. Like, wouldn't I go to Oracle first? Maybe, I don't know. And we have more and more a problem with retaliation against journalism. And Substack is a platform where you can sort of, publish yourself.
Retaliation against students, teachers.
Yeah, they're promising to protect you. Kind of like Elon Musk's. Remember he did that?
I don't.
Did
I
he
don't
ever
know that
actually?
Did
that actually have? Did he ever pay for a case?
I don't think so. Substack says it'll legally defend writers targeted by the government. It's working with a nonprofit organization to provide assistance for foreign writers living in the U.S. What about the U.S. citizens living in the U.S. that have been harassed and or other bad things? That's not or permanent green card holders.
The reason they're rolling this out now and making a headline out of it is because the Palestinian girl, she got rustled up when she was going. We got a story about that.
At the time we're shooting this, they haven't even gotten the guy back that they accidentally sent that was a citizen, like a full citizen. They just were like, get out.
Oopsie. Yeah.
He's not back.
I don't think he was published.
He will be after this.
And you guys have still not watched The King of Kong.
I read this article and I was like, this is like peak nerd drama.
You have no idea.
I mean, I kind of got the gist reading through it, but
I mean, you have no idea. This guy's whole career he was like a drama content creator.
It's insane.
About this thing, and now he is part of the drama.
Donkey Kong Champion wins his defamation case against Australian YouTuber Karl Jobst.
Quite a bit of money too.
Jobst. So this is Jobst. That's him. He made a series of videos about Billy Mitchell. Do they have a picture of Billy Mitchell? No. Most normal people have seen The King of Kong because it's really good. But Billy Mitchell is the perfect villain. He's like the American flag tie, and he's got this long hair, and he's just a monster. And it does turn. He did cheat, I do believe. Now, allegedly, don't sue me. But this guy said that. So there's so much drama here. Like, I can't unpack it all. But one of the guys
trying to read this article was difficult at times.
One guy unalived himself, and this guy claimed it was Billy Mitchell's fault. Now, in Australia, the defamation bar is very low. You cannot say that in Australia. So Billy Mitchell sued him in Australia, and he won like $350,000.
$350 plus 50 plus attorney's fees. So that's a lot.
It's going to be a lot. I don't know if
there's a lot of money in nerd drama, as it turns out.
The judge explicitly did not rule on the cheating, whether or not the cheating was factual or not. The defamation was 100% around you can't say for sure that's why that person did that or that's.
But they also gave that guy a chance to retract it. They were like, just do a video and retract it. And what he did was he did a 40-minute video unrelated to that, then fade to black. Then he popped up and he was like, oh yeah, I was wrong about that. Mm-hmm. And the judge took that and he was like, you put this in as a mitigating factor. I'm going to put it in as an aggravating factor. And he increased the penalty. When was the last time you saw a movie in the theater?
I saw Dune 2 whenever that came out, like 2 years ago.
So you give them one ticket sale last year.
Yeah.
What about you?
Years.
It's been a long time, and I think this man might be right.
Netflix CEO says movie theaters are dead. And what is the consumer trying to tell you?
I ain't got no money, and your movies ain't good enough to go see.
And also the setups at home are kind of nice.
Yeah, it's nice. I can pause the movie, go pee. I can turn on captions so I can hear the movie because I'm getting old and the whispering in the movies I can't understand.
Now, your snacks will cost movie theater prices, but they'll only cost 2018 movie theater prices, not 2025 movie theater prices, which have doubled.
That's why you carry a big purse into the movie theater.
At home, you don't need it. And Microsoft, they're doing a little bit of redesigning.
Microsoft is redesigning the Windows blue screen of death. It might change to black. We'll see.
Stupid.
Gonna add a QR code and some more diagnostic info.
The diagnostic info is nice, but why change it to black?
I don't see much diagnostic info there.
It's at the bottom. It's really small.
So it's basically the same as all their other startup screens and stuff. There might be more important things to work on.
No, it needs to stay blue.
Now, last week we talked about the Oracle hack, which Oracle had not admitted to. And they were like, oh, no, we didn't find any evidence of that. Well, guess what?
Oracle tells clients of a second recent hack, and login data has been stolen, including encrypted passwords and some other sensitive details. That's not fabulous.
Now, their excuse for that, when you say, wait a minute, guys, didn't you just say last week that this wasn't the thing? And they're like, oh, no, you said Oracle Cloud. This was another system,
Totally
unrelated
different.
to Oracle Cloud. So when you said Oracle Cloud, we said, no, we haven't been hacked because Oracle Cloud wasn't hacked. Why didn't we mention this? I don't know. We forgot. Don't worry about it. And we've seen this over here, Mr. Teixeira, and there was another one, right? Well, if you work at a top secret facility, don't copy things to your phone.
GCHQ worker admits taking top secret data home. Should have just used Signal.
And then invite some randos to the chat.
That's a different government, but okay.
Also, this fella had some Adobe Acrobat crimes.
Yeah.
Why would you still be working in this place if you were, I guess there was just accusations or hadn't settled out, I don't know. And yes, China wants brain drain. They want to get people, but the sanctions are overwhelming and they can't do it, so they're getting creative.
Intel and Microsoft staff allegedly lured to work for a fake Chinese company in Taiwan, as is the thing that happens sometimes. They were told that they were working for a parent company that was in Shanghai, but it was actually a Chinese company.
Taiwan does not tolerate that because they know that if China ever outpaces them in chips, they are doomed. And we talked about 23andMe and the horrors that are going on there, but apparently it took all of that for this moron to realize what he was operating.
Open source genetic database shuts down to protect users from authoritarian governments.
Are we the baddies?
It was like, well, I started this 14 years ago, and it was a very different place. In 2025, it's just too risky.
Oh, right. Yeah, it just started being a problem in 2025. Before then, it was fine. And be careful. This is a perennial piece of advice. You probably shouldn't be sending nudes. I know it's fun and exciting, but nothing good can come. Well, actually, something good could come from it, I guess. But what price are you
Very
paying?
temporary good.
Yeah.
Kink and LGBT dating apps exposed 1.5 million private user images online in a data breach.
So you might get a photo like that, which was on an unsecured server. I guess it was like a CDN server. They just didn't have any sort of authentication on it.
Not fabulous.
And we have heard about this fellow before, but he's been attacked again. Now, this guy's crimes previously was wearing a T-shirt that was critical of the CEO that runs the company that has Madison Square Garden. This time he was not wearing a T-shirt. So how did they know?
Madison Square Garden's surveillance system banned this fan over his T-shirt design. So it was actually a friend of his in years prior that was wearing a shirt that he designed that was making fun of the CEO. And he tagged him online in an online photo of it. And so this person apparently has been banned for life from this venue. This is the same venue that had like the law firm. It's like all the lawyers and all the staff that worked for a particular law firm that had been suing them. They were also all banned. This is our future. This is a preview of what's coming. It's like you step out of line, citizen. Good luck being able to, It's like, oh, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to go to any Carl's Jr. anywhere. You're not going to be able to go to any private business. And it's like, as a private business right now, under the law, they're permitted to do this. They can't discriminate based on, race or religion or any of that. But it's like, oh, yeah, we just don't want you here. That's fine.
You made fun of me once, and I'm butthurt about it.
And your car probably won't start. And your refrigerator won't open.
Yeah.
And your dishwasher won't rinse.
That's the future we're headed down with the trajectory that we're on. A very adversarial relationship with technology.
And that was facial recognition, if we didn't mention that. So when you go to Madison Square Garden, you're going through the facial recognition database. They're probably sharing that with the cops. So if you go see a show at Madison Square Garden, now you will be a hit every time the cops do their mandatory face search. And that's what happened here. And even though people were trying to take precautions against it, it's not enough anymore.
Private groups work to identify and report student protesters for possible deportation. And it's already happening. It's literally already happening.
This is a pretty famous story about this young lady and this dude here. And the girl wore a head covering, just the eyes showing. And this company was making fun of her. It's like, oh, she thinks she can hide behind that? Our facial recognition is good enough now. That's all we need.
It's very disturbing.
So you're going to need the hijab and a nice pair of sunglasses.
And probably the face paint. And maybe some inserts.
Ooh, that's a good point. ICP face paint, hijab, sunglasses.
I'm getting mixed signals about what this person's into.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You got to mix the signals. Give them a false reporting on yourself. Bad data points.
Very disturbing future we find ourselves in.
It's so hard to get excited about technology anymore because it just feels like it's just used against us over and over and over and over again.
We as individuals are going to have to put as much effort into as the billionaires are putting into and people with power are putting into building terrible things.
Effort does not match resources
Yeah.
in that scenario, though. And there's always going to be a lot of people who are willing to cross that picket line.
Yeah.
Authoritarian scabs.
The worst kind. Anyway, we will see you guys on Friday.